So, welcome back to Devlog number 2 of Gwennifer Reed in Proud of a Complete Breakfast. First things first, let's talk about scheduling. I've done a bit more research into, what makes a good devlog, and it turns out that once a week is way too frequent. Between the time it takes to make a devlog and the time it takes to do stuff in Unity, it's often just not practical to do so. You run out of material pretty fast. Like when you're starting a game, you make big strides very quickly, but then once you get some distance into game dev, you get stuck in the weeds of just working on one coding project for 1 week at a time. That, and admittedly there is a completely different project that I have been neglecting, so yeah, I think progress on Gwennifer Reed will be slowing for some time, meaning that I should probably make one of these devlogs maybe every 2 or 3 weeks instead of 1. Still, things have been progressing nicely. I've received my first round of feedback about the game. I should do a little dance again. Yeah, one of the first things that I fixed was movements. Movements at slower speeds is much more fluid, much more natural. I've tightened it up. You can turn a lot more quickly. You can make fine adjustments much more easily. There's still that skidding motion which leads into the backflip, but I think that's pretty important, the moveset, so that's staying. Let's have a look what else is new. There's a new skybox, which is just an experiment, just to see what I can do. This is definitely not final. One of the important bits of feedback that I got was that unfortunately cannons kinda suck, which was pretty disappointing because they're the first big things I worked on. But yeah, people were kind of disappointed that you just step in and it takes you right from A to B with no interactivity. Meanwhile, rails. People loved rails. They feel like a much better, more fluid way of getting from A to B. So I've taken out cannons when possible and replaced them with rails. And we'll see about maybe fixing up cannons for the future, maybe make them, I don't know. One plan I do have is to try and see if I can make it so that you have to press A at a certain time to get the most oomph out of the cannon, but we'll see how that works. Now immediately you can see that I've done some big things with the middle of the map. No longer is there just a big flat area, now there's stuff. Yeah, there was a cannon here, there's a rail now. Now, completely reworked this middle area to make it more exciting and dynamic to walk around. And hopefully that'll be pretty good. One question that remains. You'll notice there's this big open area to the north of the level. And I'm not sure what I want to do about level size at the moment. Like, the level as it is pretty good, I think. But it's also very compact, and I'm wondering, is it big enough? Like, is there more that I could do with this? So I think the next step is going to be to just leave this particular level behind for a bit and start making other levels. Probably without as much detail, just, grey box them out and see what kind of size of level I end up with. Oh yeah, there's another complaint here about cannons and that this challenge is not so much of a challenge. because you can't see the target when you're jumping to it. That's just not how the camera works out. So it's pretty much just guesswork as to whether you're gonna end up in the right place. So yeah, that's another reason to change cannons, I think. Make it make sense a bit more. Whee! And of course over here we have another addition to the level. Ooh, cutscene! Cutscene! I'd forgotten about that. Yeah, that's to indicate that these bad boys are bad and you should not run into them. Yeah, which they're still not perfect, so I think I'm gonna make them jiggle more and glow red stuff. Just to indicate, you know, these are bad. Oh yeah, and also the rabbit warriors, they'll jump at you with their swords now if they get close enough. Which is a small change, but I think it adds a lot of character to them. And that's about it for the new stuff. Yeah, so I'll be around. I'll probably see you in another 2 weeks while I work on some other stuff. And yeah. Have a good week, everyone. Hope to hear more. If you have any questions, suggestions, feedback, leave it below. And until next time, cheerio.